Fall Guys is like a cat with 9 lives. Whether people want to admit it or not, Fall Guys is always kicking. It's providing just enough for people to come back, and it's always relevant in some way. When it was first released, of course, it was viral. Again, when the game went free to play in the summer of last year, 2022, it was viral again, and probably more relevant than ever. And then now here we are, towards the end of the summer, 2023, and it's still relevant, thanks mostly to the fact that, of course, Creative dropped earlier this year. So, with that being said, today I really want to talk about what Fall Guys needs to do different this time, what Fall Guys can do to actually maintain some of this momentum, and not be referred to as a cat with 9 lives. Because what does a cat with 9 lives do? It keeps dying, right? We don't want Fall Guys to continuously die or lose its momentum, but rather, to utilize it and keep going and getting better and better and better. So, with that being said, I'm Fall Guys Moose. This will be part 2 of my Discussing Fall Guys series. In the last video, we talked about the vault and how it could be fixed with a couple simple steps. I'll put a card above if you want to check that out. And lastly, before we start, I have a few other series on my channel, such as my Ultimate Sweat compilation, Close Win compilation, Hexamoose compilation. Like I said, those playlists are on my channel. They're kind of just more relaxed videos with some clips and some music playing, so feel free to check them out. Now then, as I alluded to earlier, the glaring issue with Fall Guys is its inability to utilize momentum. Of course, the game itself it's great. It's silly, lighthearted, and above all, it's just fun. But it continuously shoots itself in the foot. It experiences these content droughts. A great deal of the game is unplayable thanks to the vault, and overall it just doesn't know what to do once it gains this popularity. And what's so intriguing about this is the game doesn't need much more than it has to be truly great and prove itself as a game that's here for the long run. So in essence, I'm going to provide a couple suggestions and fixes that I believe would ensure Fall Guys improves and of course is here to stay. Number 1, community engagement needs to return. I'm someone who personally didn't start playing until the game went free to play, so just about a year now, but I can see that in the time prior, the game seemed to have a super strong sense of community. There were giveaways, social media engagement, challenges, and so on. I think it's pretty obvious that a return to this level of community engagement would be awesome, get more and more people stoked to play the game. Plus, we could possibly get rare skins on the level of Dark Knight or Magic Dragon again, and who doesn't want that? I mean, I've seen multiple people make a living off of literally every single day asking for one of those skins, and I don't blame them. It's fun, it's exciting, and it's kind of, it provides a sense of community and another level to the game that we've just been lacking for so long. So, that was number 1, community engagement. Number 2, and this is a huge one, one word, variety, specifically with limited time modes. Depending on how you look at that, that was more like 6 words, but in any case, the current system is not only not working, but it's just plain bad, and honestly, it's perplexing. In the past, there were 2 LTMs, limited time modes, running at the same time, plus there was a healthy balance of modes that you'd see, right? So now we get one at a time for a whole week, and it's the same few shows on repeat. It's predictable. Extreme Squads, Finals Marathon, Hexathon, and so on. It's like Where Are Thin Ice Trials, or Sweet Thieves, or Pixelpalooza, Stadium Superstars, Lily Leaper Limbo, Slime Scraper Time. It's just odd. It's truly odd that they're so insistent on having only one LTM running at a time, on top of their unwillingness to add back old LTMs altogether. And that's of course not even considering the fact that they don't make any new ones. I mean, the only one I can think of that they made that was new was the Extreme Party, and that hasn't returned since. And even then, that only offers, 5 shards when you win? It's just odd to me that this is their current system when they've seen their past system has worked to much more success. And not only is this one change we all want to see, but I would go as far to say as this is one change that actually needs to be made for the future of Fall Guys. It's that important. Okay, that was 2, variety. Now 3rd, and at least finally for this video, of course there's plenty more we could get into, but just for the sake of this video, 3rd and finally, Another facet that just has to be changed deals with physics problems, more specifically the body blocking issue. Okay, I would say I'm a decently skilled player with over 3,000 crowns in about 12 months worth of playing, and I have no problem winning a good amount of the time that I play. But I can honestly say body blocking is a legitimate problem that needs to be addressed. You know, of course, a lot of times this might happen to us and we go into a rage and we say body blocking sucks, this, that, and the other. But the objective fact is, it is a legitimate problem that is now plaguing this game. And it's ironic because they purportedly did address this issue, at least according to the Season 4 patch notes, but evidently there's still a massive problem with the body blocking. And it's funny to me because they went as far as to address and acknowledge this issue. And not only that, but acknowledge that it was improved. And this just could be, my headcanon, if you will, but it legitimately seems worse. Just imagine the amount of times you've been yeeted off the map by another being, or simply been unable to move completely because another being seemingly had bodybuilder strength. It happens far too often, and I think we would all love to see them fix this issue once and for all. As a side note, you've even seen a new meta evolving where people will dive at another being to tackle them off of a survival-based map. I've seen it on thin ice countless times. It's hilarious, but it's actually a problem. That just about does it for today's discussion. Of course, with a game like Fall Guys, and really any game under the sun, we could go on forever when naming improvements we'd like to see. Of course, today we only went over a few. So with that being said, I'd love to hear your thoughts. What changes do you think Fall Guys can make that would improve the game? I know there's plenty. I would love to see your comments. I'd love to see your feedback. And of course, this discussion isn't necessarily going to change any outcomes per se, but it's fun. I mean, if you've made it to this point in the video, the chances are you love Fall Guys as much as me. So, it's a fun and enjoyable discussion. But in any case, thanks for watching, and I will see you guys next time.